Right, well, hi guys, welcome to my next day on the road, as you can see. Oh, the vehicle that was all smushed up yesterday, obviously I can't show you for company reasons, and it's whatever other reasons I can probably get done for showing you. But the one that had the front corner all smushed in, turns out the driver was sitting at a roundabout, and a horse box comes flying down that side of him and decides, oh, I could make that gap, goes for it, forgets it's a horse box, and takes out the front corner of his vehicle. This is the massive issue in the equine world. So many people go out and get their 7.5 ton class 2 licenses, whatever. They're not class 2 drivers, and then they don't drive throughout all the quiet time when there's no real horse shows going on because of the weather, and all of a sudden wallop. They're straight back behind the wheel, they're going for it, and they think they're in the Land Rover. Or maybe they are in a Land Rover and they forget they've got a trailer on the back. And there's a lot of arrogance in that world as well. There's a lot of arrogance in those horse box drivers. But anyway, such is life. But I thought I'd give you a little update on that. One thing I do wish to ask, and that is, it's a really random kind of question. I could Google it, I suppose, but I thought, you know what, sod it, I'll come on, get into gear. That's the issue with Axos, they really don't get into gear. But I could Google it, but I thought, no, I'll throw it open for all the guys out there, all the experienced guys, people who probably know. But I've been seeing an ever-increasing amount of truck drivers. Hold on 1 second. I've been seeing an ever-increasing amount of truck drivers driving along at night with all their dome lights on. Now, I've never really bothered worrying about whether it's legal or not, because I don't bother. The only reason you'd have your dome light on is to find something in your cab. Well, if you're driving, you're not really supposed to be finding something in your cab now, are you? Let's be honest. And I'm curious, is it actually legal to be driving down the road with your interior lights on at night? Because I genuinely don't know. I could Google it, like I said, but I don't know. So I thought I'd ask the question. But anyway, there we go. I am off to a top secret location somewhere in the Corby area today to do a collection of relatively high value goods and take those straight to Wellingborough. So yes, I can't tell you where I'm going. I can tell you it's in the Corby area, but that could be just outside Corby. Could even stretch as far as Caring. He doesn't, but he could do. But yeah, no, I'm off to do that. I'll then deliver that lovely few pallets into Wellingborough, and that's my day. So it should be a short day. Time will tell. And I have actually realised something. I want to go north on the A1. And I'm going down towards the 414. Oh well, I'll have to jump on the A1 from the junction down here. I was going to the M1 for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. It's a lot longer going to the M1. Oh, that's probably why. I was happily trundling down to the M1, going, yeah, I'll go up to the 14 and that, and then all of a sudden my brain went, well, why don't you just use the A1 up to the 14 and then along the 14 and that way? You get days like this. I've had a few recently, because I do have quite a large amount going on outside of work with everything, obviously, you guys know, going on in my personal life. So, yeah, I was happily trundling down to the M1, and yeah. Oh well, I'll just join the A1 down here. He's neither here nor there, to be fair. Get held up with traffic lights going one way, get held up with traffic lights going the other way. Little from column A, little from column B. It'll look a bit odd though. You know. There goes a driver. And he could have turned left at the roundabout by the Paul's garage, he didn't. Oh, never mind. Such is life. I did notice the number plate on the Actros that has all been smushed up. And actually it was one of my preferred vehicles. You know how I went on about after a while you get used to the vehicles and you get your own preferred ones? It was one of my preferred ones. If I do this just right, trundle, he's going to be like, why the hell is he there? But whatever. He's got loads of room, I've got loads of room, everyone's happy. Happy. Yeah, but no, it's one of the Actroses I preferred, so that's a bit annoying. That's going to be off the road for the foreseeable future until they fix that. But yeah, don't you just love traffic lights on roundabouts as well? Loads of room, bud. Loads of room. Don't be scared of the cars next to you. There we go, look at that. I'm on the right road! Woo! Whoops. Oh, it does that now. Every single person has those days, every so often. There we go. Just sort yourself out, make sure there's nobody coming. I don't want to do this vehicle in as well. Oh, actually, it goes into 3 lanes here, doesn't it? Doesn't it go in there? No, I very rarely go this way. Well, there's no real reason for me to, you know. Here we go, into the tunnel. Turn your side lights on. Make yourself a little bit more visible. I mean, give them half a chance. I mean, come on, you've got to try and do something. But yes, no, off to do my specialised collection of high-value goods. Oh, it's always fun. Going bonding to bonding is always a lot of fun. Well, we're steadily getting there, steadily going up the A1. And I thought for a while about doing like a motivational speech for the younger generation. You know, the teenagers who are watching me or the people in their early 20s. And then I started thinking, well, what should I do it about? Should I do it about, you know, getting motivated to become a HGV driver? Or should I just point a few things out? And I thought, well, you know me, I like to stay neutral. I don't like to make points, I just like to point things out. So I thought, you know what, I'll stick with that, I'll do that. There we go, let him go. I'll do that. And so here it goes. Now, I'm going to ask you, the younger guys, a question. What does your future hold for you? What's going to happen in your future? Now, chances are you're going to try and answer that foolishly. You're going to try and answer that by saying things along the lines of, oh well, this is what I've got planned. I'm planning on doing this to link to that, to do this, and hopefully that will happen. That's not what I'm asking you. I don't care about your dreams or your plans. That's not the question I'm asking you. What is definitely going to happen in your future? You don't know, do you? You can't tell. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You could win the lottery via a scratch card tomorrow. You don't know. So my follow-up question to that is, how do you know you're going to fail at something? So what am I talking about? What am I going on about? Well, I'm going on about procrastination. Now, ooh, hello. I'm 31 years of age. Now that's not exactly over the hill, that's not ancient or anything like that. But my first ever brand spanking new car, I mean fresh out the production line, you know, first ever registered owner, all the whistles and bells, was a 2004 plate Ford Fiesta, AX04 CRV. And I look at 2004 plate cars and think, they're not that old, are they? And they are. They're 12 years old now. For a car, that's ancient. Especially a daily driver vehicle, that's ancient. I mean, for all you 18-year-olds out there, when I got the keys to that car, when I was signing that paperwork... Hello? When I was signing that paperwork... Oh, he's going round as well. Get into the right gear. You were 6 years old. When I was taking the keys to my first ever brand spanking new car, you were 6 years old. Now think about it. Since you were 6 to now, where you're 18 or 19, where's all that time gone? You know, look over your shoulder. Where's it all gone? Vanished, isn't it? And that's the point I'm trying to make, or trying to raise. One day you're going to wake up, and a lot of the older generation will agree with me on this one. One day you're going to wake up, and you're going to be staring down the barrel of a mortgage, a family. You're going to have a car you never dreamed you'd ever own, you know, the people carrier. You're going to be like, you're going to be maybe marginally overweight, like little old me. I'm fat, let's be honest, I'm overweight. Are you going to think, where's it gone? That piece of crap, rusted out, smoke billowing, ancient wreckage of a vehicle that went past you, you bought one of those when they were brand new. What happened? And what leads to that is procrastination. Now I'm going to tell you a very famous story that Bill Gates tells. And obviously it's going to be paraphrased somewhat slightly. It's not going to be word for word, obviously. When Bill Gates was at uni learning his, you know, programming and all that kind of stuff, there was a guy in his class, in his lecture group. And this particular guy beasted Bill Gates on exam results, on coursework results. He was a better programmer. He was just naturally better at it. Okay, and he got a higher grade at the end of it, the works. He went on to earn a few million a year, being really high up in Microsoft. Bill Gates owned Microsoft. The reason that happened was because the better programmer knew, beyond shadow of all reasonable doubt, there was no way he could ever be successful. Bill Gates, a lesser programmer, and if you're curious as to whether I'm right, I mean, think about it. How many glitches do Microsoft programs have in them? I know he doesn't write the new ones, but they're all based on the same kind of principle. You know, he knew that you don't know what your future holds. He didn't procrastinate. He didn't think, it's just going to fail, it's a load of old crap. He started Microsoft and ran with it. He did the business meetings. He put the time in. He's the second richest man on the face of the planet. And the person who was better at him in university earns a couple of million a year. Okay, he's comfortable, but he's not Bill Gates. And that's what I'm trying to get through to you, the younger generation. I spent my teens and my 20s procrastinating like buggery. I procrastinated over everything. It took me over 2 years, nearly 3 years, before I eventually decided to do my HGVs. Seriously, I just didn't care. I was like, yeah, well, you know, I'm young, I've got all the time in the world. And at the end of last year, something inside me snapped. Something inside me just gave way. I woke up, so to speak. And I thought, why have I procrastinated over this, that and all the other stuff? Came up with a plan to go to Canada. Now, if I'd have continued to procrastinate, I would have sat there going, oh, well, being negative, you know, that kind of thing. And I'd have thought, starting a YouTube channel, what the hell's the point? No one's ever going to watch it. I might get 10 subscribers. It's a complete pointless waste of time. I mean, you know, it's expense in getting the cameras and the kit, and having all the time and the effort that goes into making the videos, then uploading them, and then, it's just a massive waste of time. I started my YouTube channel on the 4th of January this year. I have just shy of 1,200 subscribers. I do not actively promote myself anywhere. I don't pay for advertising. I don't go trolling on other people's YouTube pages. I do not actively promote myself anywhere. But doing this YouTube thing, it's just a massive waste of time, isn't it? Do you see the difference between procrastinating and being negative and going, oh, well, it's never going to work, and just not giving a damn anymore, just going for it? I'm living proof, for crying out loud. Bill Gates is even bigger living proof. I mean, he's like the ultimate living proof, you know. And so it tires me. It really tires me when people sit there and go, oh, that's a stupid idea, you'll go broke, it'll never work, it'll fail. You know, you're flirting with failure, you're going to go broke. Well, everything you flirt with failure. I mean, think about it. You're at school, you can fail your exams. You go to A-levels, you can fail those. You go to university, you can fail your degree, you can be a washout. You do your car licence, you can fail your test, and I'm loath to use that term as well, you know, it's an assessment. You could fail your test. You go and do your HGVs, you can fail your HGVs. Think about it. Everything you do, you could fail at. So why is it all of a sudden certain things, oh well, you just flirt with failure, aren't you? You could fail, you could go broke doing it. But that's life, you silly sod. You sit there and you don't know what your future holds. How do you know you're going to fail? Now take for example, and this is just an example, take for example Forex currency trading. Now if you want to really make money on that, if you want to make a livelihood in that, you've got to have a huge amount of money invested in it. I mean, it's stupid, it's 6 figures easily you've got to have invested in it. And let's be honest, none of us have that kind of cash on the hip. So the only realistic way you're going to make money doing that is as a broker, working for a brokerage firm that specialises in trading, currency trading. Well, how do you get into it? Well, you could have a business degree, an economics degree, you know, various little degrees that you could quite happily have. Mathematical degree, get my words out one day. Yeah, those are potential ways of getting into it. But how are you going to keep your job? How are you going to get the better paid jobs? Well, the only way to do it is to average a decent return on your trade. So you've got to learn the system, you've got to learn all the candle graphs and what everything means, and be able to make educated guesses when something's going to go down or up. Now, it is a gamble, obviously. Most trading is, whether it's stocks and shares or pension scheme traders, because don't forget, your pension is held by a company that is using that money and gambling it on currencies going up, on stocks going up, on various funds going up, everything. Your pension is only what it's going to be because it's been gambled with by professionals the entire time you've had it. So a pension isn't even bloody safe. It's an investment that could up and vanish like a fart in the wind if another recession comes along, like it did for a lot of people back in 2007. I know guys who were cabbies in London, and they had everything. They were retired, they were in Spain, the recession came along, and where they'd put their money, the companies went bust, and they were left with virtually nothing. There was one truck driver I drove with in the early part of my career, and he used to be a chartered accountant for a business accountancy firm linked to companies at Canary Wharf. He earned a lot of money. He was 63 and a truck driver because his pension went up the spout in the last economic recession. So everything you do, whether it's a safe investment like pensions or putting your money into bricks and mortar, it's a risk. You could lose everything. So how would you go about doing the currency trading if you wanted to do it? Well, you've got to be exceptionally disciplined. First of all, first and foremost, you have to be disciplined. You have to set yourself a limit, and do not, under any circumstance, go above that limit. What you do is you learn it. You read all the literature on it, you watch various YouTube videos, maybe you've got a friend or a few friends who do it like I do, and you just learn it. You just see the system. You start to kind of read the charts like you would a book. Now remember, I'm using this as an example. I'm not saying this is just what this is about. This is an example of, procrastinating, believing you're going to fail versus, well, you might do. So you learn the system. Then you set yourself a monetary limit to start trading with. Say £1,000. Now you're never, ever, ever going to be able to make enough money from that £1,000 to live on. You're not going to. It's impossible. You can't do it. You're never going to be that lucky. And you know that. You've got to know that. But what you do is you invest it, and you're cautious, and you sprinkle it over a load of different bets, if you like. Now, if you can get it right, you see the 4 peaks, you see the head and shoulders, you see all the whistles and bells you've got to put your line through, you create your baseline and all your whistles and bells. Then you're going to get a return. Now it might be a couple of percent whilst you learn, 1/4%. But over time, if you go the right way, if you watch the right things, if you study it and you really think about it, you can get to the point where you're averaging about 12 to 18% returns. Now, you're talking pennies. You're talking pounds on the money you've got. But you're averaging decent percentage returns. So that's giving you a portfolio. You've done it for about a year, 18 months, 2 years. You're just flirting about with it. You've got your money, you're not going to go over it. If it all up and vanishes, well, at least you gave it a shot. You walk away. Okay? You've got to be disciplined. You've got to have it up here. You've got to be sensible. You got your limit. If it all ups and vanishes and you fail, you walk away. You tried it, it didn't work, whatever. There's a discipline. But if you can get decent percentage returns as an average, and you don't know that you can't, then you get your portfolio. You're averaging good returns. Now, you talk to people, various forums, things like that. This is your portfolio. This is what you're doing. You meet the right people. You meet the brokers, and they're like, "Well, okay, we'll give you a challenge. Do 500 trades in the next month. 55% of them have to be winners." Now, I know that for a fact because my friend who does this, who is now doing this full time, virtually, because he's got various other investment things as well. That's how he got started. He was given that challenge: 500 investments in a month, or 500, currency trades. 500 trades in a month. 55% of them have to be successful. Now, he got 72% success, so he landed the job. So you do that. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, you fail. Oh well, you failed. You didn't lose anything. You put £1,000 to one side. You'd only spent that beer tokens in the course of a year. A couple of kebabs you can't have. That kind of thing. Let's say you succeed. Well, you've just landed a 6-figure-a-year job. Do you see what I mean about knowing you're going to fail versus knowing that you don't know what's going to happen? Knowing you're going to fail is going to stop you from doing things. Now, I could give you an example of something that happened in my family. My father, back in 1987, I think it was. Now, back then, the internet didn't even have a single piece of porn on it yet. I mean, it was infantile. I mean, Thatcher had the opportunity at one stage to rewire, you know, change all the phone wires and phone lines and everything like that for fibre optics. But the internet wasn't going anywhere, so she stuck with copper. It was cheaper. Which is why our internet is so much slower than America. In America, they just fibre optics everything. Over here, fibre optics is new. Over there, it's quite old now. You know, we're still running down copper lines because the internet was going nowhere. Now, my dad came up with an idea. I was born in '84, so he'd gone through all the baby rearing and all that kind of stuff, and he came up with this idea. New parents, you know, father's out at work, mother's at home, looking after the kids, in rural communities, have a lot, especially back in the 80s, where, you know, it was one car a household as an average style thing, have a lot of difficulty getting to the shops to get the baby care stuff, you know, your nappies and your baby foods and all that kind of stuff. So he thought, using this new electronic mail system and faxes, phones and stuff like that, he'd sell up, move to a rural location, Cumbria, somewhere like that, centralise himself so he's close to the stores, and then, you know, advertise himself to new families and things like that. They can, you know, contact him saying, oh yeah, we need these nappies, if you could, you know, get them, and he'd get them, and then for a nominal fee on top of what they cost, deliver them, and that would be his business. And I've seen the kind of hashed out business plan, so I know this to be true. And he went to the bank, and the bank manager saw the potential. Bloody good potential, that. And so put him in contact with an investor, somebody who was very interested. Very interested. And this investor turned to my dad and he said, well, instead of just doing nappies and baby stuff, why don't you just do shopping? You know, why don't you do soap powders as well? Because remember, back in the 80s, a lot of nappies were reusable. They weren't disposable like they are today. So why don't you do soap powders and tin food? And just generalise people shopping, you know. And my dad turned around and said, well, all the heavier stuff is going to use a lot more fuel and I'm not going to make any profit on it. So if I end up a couple of days of just delivering the soap powders and nothing else, I'm going to be running in the red. I'm not going to make any money. And there was a few arguments, a few bits and bobs, and my dad just went, nah, it's never going to work. It was a stupid idea, and walked away from it. Can anybody tell me what that idea was the embryo of? Well, home shopping, Ocado, Amazon, you know, internet shopping. It was one of the ideas. What the forerunning idea? It was okay. It was delivering baby stuff via faxes and the electronic mail that was coming around, and you know, that kind of stuff. But it was an embryonic version of online shopping, of online retail, a multi-trillion-dollar a year industry. And my dad had that idea in 1987 and decided it was stupid. Because, oh well, never make any money, and oh well, you can't guarantee where it's going to go. Yeah, you can't guarantee it's going to fail either. Can't guarantee it's going to work, can't guarantee it's going to fail. But think about it, 1987, the founder of Amazon wasn't even in secondary school yet. So when I hear people saying, oh well, you know, it's only going to fail, how do you know? Please explain to me how you know it's going to fail. So there you go. To all you younger guys out there, just have an idea and roll with it. More people will tell you you're stupid than will tell you you are. Well, that's quite an intelligent idea. Lots more people will tell you you're going to fail than succeed. Because the only people who are going to tell you that you are going to succeed are the people who are going to invest in you. And let's be honest, the people who are going to invest in you are the 1% of the nation. So 99% of people are going to tell you you're going to fail. 1% are going to tell you, well, that's not a bad idea. There are, what is it, 2,068 exceptionally wealthy people in the UK. What that tells me is 2,068 people didn't do what 64 million others did. just who I am. But something snapped in me at the end of last year, and procrastination, I suddenly realised exactly what I'd missed out on, all the opportunities. I could have had opportunities to go to Australia, New Zealand, Canada and America when I was younger, all on visas, all on, 6-month working bits and bobs like that. Could have gone round the world, and I never did. I procrastinated. I thought, well, no, my passport's run out, I'd have to renew that. I've got me car, I've got me job, I've got a £2,000 loan, and all this and all that, and blah, blah, blah. I'm 31 years old, I'm a truck driver in the UK. Something snapped inside me. So to all the younger people out there, don't be put off by potential failure, because you can fail at everything. You've got to flirt with failure, otherwise how do you know you're successful? But anyway, little motivational speech, dragged on quite a large amount. I will not see you at my destination because it is a top secret location just off the A14 around the Corby area. I will most likely see you at Wellingborough. And please, to the younger guys, just have your idea, think about it, flesh it out. And don't be put off because somebody says, oh well, you're going to fail. Fair enough, whatever. If you fail, you fail, but at least you tried. Always remember, the only things you regret in this world are the things you do not do. They're the only things you regret. You don't regret anything you've done. It makes you who you are. So always try and remember that. And good luck to you. Don't spend your life thinking you've got time. You really don't. Well, we're here at Wellingborough, and I've done my top secret collection and delivery. I've got a load to take back, but I'll bung it on break in a minute, have me break, and then I'll be going back in the rush hour, so woohoo! That'll do. Lovely jubbly. But yeah, no, I know the last segment went on a little bit with all the motivational, positive thinking and everything like that, but just always bear in mind for the younger guys, the only failure in this world is giving up. There you go. Just to arc back to that one. But it's been a wonderful day so far. Yeah, I just read something via Twitter, and it was all about the autonomous vehicle revolution and how it's going to save industries £33 billion over the next 10 years. Or over 10 years after it's implemented, sorry. And you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, fair enough. So you read on, you read down, and it's going to be 4 point whatever billion over 10 years, and you're sitting there thinking, well, it's either 33 billion a decade, or if I actually click on it, I'll click on it to get it right, because I don't want to do it wrong, obviously. And then you read down and you read down, trundle, and the research estimated that the savings could be as high as 4.75 billion over 10 years. The headline: the driverless lorry delivering £33 billion savings a year to the UK economy. The research estimated that the savings could be as high as 4.75 billion over 10 years. I'm not the greatest mathematician in the world, but I think the headline is lying. And you just sit there and you think, oh, it's all well and good, excellent, wonderful, everyone's happy, saving money. How much are all the out-of-work truck drivers going to cost the taxpayer in benefits? Just out of curiosity. Goods will go down in price. No, they won't. They'll go up in price. Goods go up in price. How the system works. They might stay the same for a while longer, but they'll go up in price. It's all a load of crap as far as I'm concerned. But implementing it's going to be a long, drawn-out process. Whatever. I wouldn't like to say how long it's going to be, but it's going to be a long time yet. I'll probably be into my retirement. But, well, retirement age, because like I said, I've got no dreams or wishes to ever retire. I always want to be doing something. But yes, it shall be wonderful. Now, going back very quickly to the old, positive thinking and everything like that, and don't procrastinate. I was thinking, obviously I've started my YouTube channel, and of course the Canadian thing is a bit up in the air at the moment, because obviously with what's going on with my dad and everything like that. Oh, by the way, anybody who is curious about, getting over to Canada, things that you're going to come across, things to expect, all that kind of stuff, Over the Road Rosen has started up a small series of how he got over there and what he went through. Do be warned that the first one is a little bit like him trying to be Spielberg. It's got so many different edits in it and so many different things going on. It's like, hold on a minute. It's the same image, it's the same, bit of footage, but loads of different things going on, and you're like, But I've had words. But no, go check him out, and obviously he's going to be releasing them over a period of time, so that it becomes like a little mini-series of what he went through. But yeah, but going back to the, don't procrastinate and things, I am currently 15 stone, 8.5. I should be around about 11.5, 12. And the issue is, it's an issue that faces drivers as a general rule. And that is being overweight. I mean, the job we do, we are sitting down for long periods of time doing technically nothing. And it's a big thing, it's a big issue. And so I was thinking, well, I've said all of this, and you know me, I'm not a hypocrite. If I'm saying this is one thing to do, then you know that I do it. And it's like everything when I started the channel, it's a case of I will show you what I do, not necessarily how to pass a test, but what I do in reality. Warts and all. And I was thinking, well, we all procrastinate. There's always a New Year's resolution, and then the New Year's resolution is, oh, well, I'll do it in the summer, and, oh, well, it'll be next year's resolution, and I'll do it in spring, and, oh, I'll do it then, I'll do it here, and I'll do it now, and it never happens. So I'm 15 stone, 8.5. Well, I'm going to change my diet, and I'm going to do as much exercise as I can when I can, because obviously I do a lot of hours driving. And I will update you once a week on whether I'm losing weight or not, to give you an idea of what happens when you actually stop procrastinating and actually bother to try and do something. So I'm aiming for around the 12, but I don't know how long that's going to take. It's probably going to take a long time. But I'm going to be changing my diet. I'll have more salads, a lot less meat-based products, and all the tasty stuff, and just see how it goes. But I thought, I can sit there and I can say about don't procrastinate and do this and, don't do that. But if I'm not doing something in that vein, then I'm just saying words, aren't I? So every week I shall give you a little update on whether I've lost or gained. And I'm sure I'm going to have some failures. We all do. But there we go. I thought I'd add that in. Anyway, I'm going to have my break. I'm not going to have a chocolate bar or bag of crisps. I'm going to be good. And I shall see you back at base, no doubt. Well, that's the end of my day. Relatively uneventful. I thought I was going to get more held up on the M1 South, but that was clear. Well, free flowing at least. And the M1 North was knackered. Properly knackered. But yes, it's rather wonderful that it's still daylight. I'm going to get home relatively early, have enough time to edit various bits and bobs together, There was no temperature in there, no temperature there. Just flying off through the paperwork now, so no. The easiest thing to do is all the boxes you don't need to fill in, just put a line through them. That way, when you come to fill it in, you know, like if you do what I do, transfer stuff that you've written down onto the actual timesheet, then your eyes just drawn immediately to the boxes you need to fill in, and it's just a lot easier. A lot easier. So that's all I'm doing. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I do hope my motivational load of old crap. I can already hear some people saying, "Ooh, load of old crap," you know. But I hope my motivational, you know, just don't procrastinate too long about things. Just have your idea, run with it, and get it done. Hope that helps certain people. If you've got decisions to make, just make them. They'll either go right or they'll go wrong, one of the two. 19 delivered in there. But anyway, I shall see you in the next one, most likely tomorrow. I've had a crafty shufty at the run sheet in the security hut, and it looks like I'm going to have quite a nice day. So, because I'll be up around the Northampton area, then it'll be up to Crick, then it'll be back down to Wellingborough. Is it Wellingborough? Yeah, and then back. I think it was that. Yeah, I'm sure there was a Wellingborough in it. It could just be because I've just filled it in. But yes, anyway, like I said, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.